What is going on YouTube? In today's episode, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as Binance token to BTC. Today is Friday, which means in 2 days on Sunday, we'll be completing our Binance token review for the week, and we'll be jumping into another cryptocurrency of your guys' choices. So let me know down below which cryptocurrency you want to see reviewed in next week's episodes. Furthermore, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to leave a giant thumbs up, subscribe, turn on post notifications, the little bell, and otherwise let's jump right into today's video. So as you guys can see right now, we are on the current coin market cap, and the market cap is 320 billion with a 24-hour volume of 74.9 billion and a Bitcoin dominance of 62.3%. One thing to note is that the 24-hour volume is steadily decreasing, it looks like, even though we're in a kind of retracement right now and we're starting to see pullback. That's why the market's all red. It's really not at a significant volume in which it's any means noticeable. You'll notice that the market cap is, although slightly higher than where we've seen it in the past, but there is some slow growth or slow retracement leaving the market cap as seen below. You'll notice that out of all the cryptocurrencies, the top 10, they are all in red, not one. Even Tether is up in any means. You can see throughout the rest of the market, everything seems to be down. Yes, there are some couple outliers that are indeed in green, but for the most part, the market is in red, indicating that retracement is in. And that does lead me over to another point, which I wanted to discuss with you guys on the charts, especially Ethereum's chart, which I'll show you in a second. Now, you'll notice that out of these top 10 cryptocurrencies, Litecoin is number 4 at $119, only down 2.8%, and you can see Bitcoin only down 5%. But you'll notice there's an average of about 3% total out of the top 10 cryptos, indicating not much retracement is really happening, if any. It's very small. It's really just subtle. You can barely see any sort of movement to the downside. It's just very, very, very small. So it's no major fear factor involved. There's no major dip to the downside. It's just a slow and steady gradual retracement to lower levels, which is okay. It's a healthy pullback. Now, jumping into the cryptocurrencies, you'll notice Litecoin, but I do want to just specifically talk about Ethereum first and then relay that over to the other altcoins. Now, you'll notice a big thing is happening with Ethereum, which I did not share with you guys yesterday because quite frankly I didn't notice it, but now that I saw it, I would like to bring it to your guys' attention. So you'll notice on Ethereum's weekly chart, which we did not view, we only did Litecoin and Bitcoin, but when I checked out Ethereum's off camera, you'll notice that there was a very interesting retracement, which I didn't notice on the other ones. You'll notice Bitcoin, I think we are on the weekly too, is way above its high-low middle moving averages, and you'll see Litecoin is also ever so slightly above its middle moving averages. We're now just testing the top of its support of the red band, but you'll notice on Ethereum we are in between the cryptocurrency, or sorry, the high-low middle moving averages. And one thing that stands out to me is Ethereum is trading at number 2, which means it's got $31 billion in its market cap total and $8.7 billion in total volume on in 24 hours, which is quite substantial. It's more than double what Litecoin's is. So it's definitely not a coin to mess around with, but it means that it does indeed influence the market and is something to also pay attention to when you're trying to make trades. The reason being is it tested the top of its high-low middle moving average. You'll see right here as we headed up, as I draw out, we headed up, we retested the top of this, and then we pulled back down. Now this is a huge indicator which I have not noticed for the time being that we were drawing all the cryptocurrencies. We did not see this, or I did not view Ethereum up until now, and you'll notice we're starting to retrace and pull back down, and that's quite important in terms of investing into other cryptocurrencies. You'll notice that on Litecoin and Bitcoin, we did see retracement, but we didn't really know what it was from. We saw Bitcoin being extremely overbought, but we didn't expect to see this retracement, although we did know that because it was overbought, movement to the downside was definitely needed. But you'll notice on Ethereum's, we hit a top right here. We literally topped off and tested the top of this high-low MMA, indicating retracement. It indicated that this is a strong resistance up here, and there is a lot of downwards pressure pushing this cryptocurrency to lower levels. And you'll notice now we're just hanging out at our bottom support right here, in between the high-low middle moving averages, instead of being so extremely overbought. But this was huge, guys. Like, honestly, this made a lot of sense now that I saw this. A big retracement last week, major retestment. Not only did we test an a resistance line, but we also tested the high-low MMA, which is a lot of downwards pressure, and it pushed the coin down. Now, this also happened the same exact time Bitcoin, it became extremely, bullish. It exploded to higher levels, and then we're starting to see this retracement. We're also seeing Litecoin, which is just consolidating slowly, but the retracement was indeed because of the way the market was heading. All Bitcoin and Litecoin and Ethereum, Bitcoin and Ethereum and the other cryptocurrencies were starting to pull back down. Money was leaving, Litecoin left too. But in terms of bullish moves to the upside, Ethereum broke. That's what it looks like. Ethereum broke. And Ethereum tested the top. So this would have been a great buy-in opportunity for other times or sell-off opportunities. And what I mean by that is we have to look at all the cryptocurrencies instead of just one, mainly because if we looked at Ethereum while Bitcoin was exploding, if you had per se invested in Bitcoin, you would know that if we did hit the top here, which we did, this would be a huge, resistance. Not only were we testing overbought, we were most definitely overbought on Ethereum, but we were testing this, high-low MMA, the top resistance band at the same time, indicating that this would be, a stop. This would be a great sell-off level. If you had pretty much any cryptocurrency, this would be a great sell-off level. That's in probably the top 5, or that correlates with Ethereum, you would know to sell right here. So that's a great opportunity. We knew that then the retracement happened. So we're kind of just playing around right now in between bottom support at 237 and top resistance at 366. So we're going to just hang out in here, but the retracement was definitely needed. It's glad to see that now that we have a reason for the cap. This was the cap on the coin, indicating pullback to lower levels. And it could have been Ethereum that honestly led this bull run that I did not realize. Bitcoin, although on its weekly, you can see having a lot of issues right now, retesting its previous resistance right here, currently facing a lot of troubles breaking through here, but you'll notice as well we are extremely overbought on our RSI, indicating some retracement is definitely needed in the, I don't want to say long term, but in a few couple of weeks moving forward. Now, moving on to Litecoin, you'll notice Litecoin also is hitting a resistance, a pretty strong one at that. So you can see where exactly this coin had certain, flows and movements within its price back in 2018, early 2018, and you'll notice that this was definitely a key factor right here where we tested this numerous times, indicating strong support and strong resistance. And it's about time we're finally catching back up to that 140 level, slowly but surely making our way there. I'm much healthier if you ask me. This is just a slow stairway, while this was just parabolic straight up to the upside. So I do think we will be retesting 143 very soon. This pullback was needed because Bitcoin and Ethereum were both overbought, but now we can start to see some consolidation, some slow growth, and some slow movement back to close this ascending triangle, indicating that we could see a potential break to the upside within a couple of days, which is huge, guys. That's huge news all in all. So also, if you guys are interested in gaining any of these charts right now, they are on my Patreon. It's the first link in the description. Basically, that is a way for you guys to get access to all these charts instead of just watching them. You can actually interact with them on my Patreon. They are live updating, so every line and mark I do on the charts, you will get notified on that too. So it's pretty awesome. Highly recommend you check it out. You can see we do have this uptrend. We're closing off on the daily very, very, very soon. We're literally a couple of weeks away from ending this extreme ascending triangle. I apologize for the beeps. I forgot to shut off notifications on my laptop, but you can see a beautiful ascending triangle is forming. We're almost completing it. Otherwise, we're just going to trend above this, but I do think in very, very, very soon we will see a break to the upside. I do think we're going to see movement to 143 and higher. So it's going to be huge, guys. I'm keeping my eye out for this cryptocurrency, but we did pretty much talk about Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum. We just left out Binance Coin, so it's time to talk about this. You'll notice for the most part, I do think Binance is going to be a long-term hodl, a long-term play, mainly because of the way this massive, gaping mouth is looking. This is a huge opened ascending wedge, which inevitably is not, facing in, and I'll draw that out. What I mean by that, it's not like this, where we have lines like this. You can see this is the opposite. It's actually going this way, and it's opening, which means it's opening more barriers to bigger levels. I apologize for all these notifications. I get a lot, and I forgot to shut it off. But so I do think, all in all, Binance Coin does look very nice. I don't think we're going to hang out in the middle here, and if we do, it's only for consolidation. So we're probably just going to trade sideways, but I don't think this coin looks bullish by any means, which is crazy because we could obviously see tomorrow. Boom. But That's a missed run. I do think it needs to be either consolidating out sideways or consolidating downwards, testing this bottom support, indicating 3 confirmations, and then we'll see a major run to the upside. So some sort of play like this is definitely in the air for, Binance Coin to BTC. Now, that's pretty much going to wrap up today's episode, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's episode.